Before we get the show underway, if you haven't subscribed to us here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, I have to be honest, I think you're making a mistake. Here on the show, we give you daily Philadelphia Eagles coverage year-round, covering all of the latest news, rumors, and analysis. NFL free agency coverage, we knocked it out of the park. We did the same thing with the NFL draft. We also do live shows every single week, which are also going to start to ramp up and get even juicier when the regular season comes around, as well as training camp and the preseason. And when the games get underway, watch parties return, and the real ones know they get litty as well. So join one of the largest channels on YouTube covering the Philadelphia Eagles as we approach 50,000 subscribers, and hit that sub button right now. Coming up on today's show, Philadelphia Eagles OTA's Winners and Losers Part 2. And today's show is presented and sponsored by GlassesUSA.com. I love these blue light glasses from GlassesUSA.com. There's an exclusive promo link down below in the description. We'll tell you more about that coming up here in just a few moments. So, Eagles OTAs are officially complete. They've wrapped up. So the next time that this team will be on the field together, training camp in late July. This year already really flying by. But who won and who lost this week during Eagles OTAs? Let's begin with Eagles OTA's winners. And this is a name that we haven't really talked about a lot, but we have to talk about him now. It is linebacker Christian Elliss, who during team drills may have been the most impressive player on the defensive side of the football for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yesterday, he got first-team reps alongside Nakobe Dean. Last week, he picked off Marcus Mariota. Yesterday, he intercepted Jalen and also tallied a pass breakup. Now, a lot of you are not familiar with Christian Elliss, but you have to start understanding what this guy is doing, and you have to get to know the name. He was undrafted in 2021 out of the football powerhouse of Idaho. He's made a couple of starts so far in his NFL career on practice squads and preseason rosters. Minnesota, the Eagles twice, and the San Francisco 49ers. He's tallied 14 career tackles, solid size at 6'3", 231 pounds. But with the way that he's been playing throughout this offseason during Eagles OTAs, we now have to pose this question. Could Christian Elliss push Nakobe Dean to be one of the team's starting linebackers? Because Nakobe Dean, who we'll talk about a little bit later, is having a silent offseason so far. Christian Elliss, 2 picks, a pass breakup. He is an Eagles OTA winner. So is Christian Elliss for real? It's hard to say right now, but you can still share your opinion on it. R for real, P for phony. Let me know down below in the comment section. Eagles OTA winner number 2. It is DeVonta Smith. Skinny Batman Smitty, the former Heisman Trophy winner. DeVonta Smith regularly got open with his meticulous and clean footwork, and he was basically unguardable. And to start his NFL career, DeVonta Smith has basically been unstoppable. In year 1, set the record for the most receiving yards among all rookies in franchise history with 916 on 104 targets and 64 catches. And last year, set the Eagles single-season franchise record for the most catches in a season with 95, tallying nearly 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's a great contested catch wide receiver. He plays larger than his size. He's a great route runner with some awesome footwork. And this is a guy who's tough as nails and loves working on his craft. And I think in year 3, he's set to take off once again. And throughout this offseason, he's been turning heads once again. So over/under 100 catches for Skinny Batman here in 2023. He was 5 away from that number in 2022. A simple over/under game. Play that game in the comments section. More Eagles winners and losers coming up. But first, a word from our sponsor. So I've been experimenting with these new blue light glasses. What do you think of them? GlassesUSA.com has hooked me up with this new pair of Revel Sidestep blue light glasses to help me in front of my computer screen all day long because I'm always looking to a computer, having to script all of my shows here at Chat Sports, and using these blue light glasses during screen time it's helped reduce eye strain, it decreases headaches, improves my sleep, and increases my productivity. If you didn't already know, GlassesUSA.com is one of the biggest eyewear retailers in the United States, offering thousands of eyeglasses and sunglasses from some great brands like Ray-Ban, Gucci, Oakley, and many more. And what's best about GlassesUSA.com is that glasses start at only $39, which are up to 70% off retail prices. And if you love these frames, there is a crazy exclusive offer waiting for my followers by clicking the links in the description box down below. They've also got a super helpful AR virtual try-on tool to help find your right frames. Also, shopping online at GlassesUSA.com is a risk-free shopping experience with free shipping and returns and 100% money-back guarantee, all within 14 days. If you want some sunglasses as well, because weather is starting to heat up all across the United States and summer is going to be here before we know it, I also got these Revel Slater sunglasses from GlassesUSA.com as well. Get the exclusive discount, only available to Eagles Now viewers, by clicking on the links in the comments and description box, because it's only available for 24 hours. Once again, thank you, GlassesUSA.com, for sponsoring today's Philadelphia Eagles Now. Now, I love these glasses so much, I could do the rest of the show in them, but it becomes a little bit harder to see our graphics, but you get the point. Look fresh with GlassesUSA.com. More Eagles OTA winners here. Quez Watkins. And look, Quez Watkins is a guy who has popped off in these OTA sessions before. He's performed well in training camp and in the preseason. It's all about putting it together in the regular season for Quez Watkins. But I do think it's pretty important that he's used last year's disappointing season as some motivation, and he's really impressed Nick Sirianni, who singled him out as the player who has impressed him the most throughout this offseason, but also Jalen Hurts. So Nick Sirianni singled him out as the player who's had a phenomenal spring so far, and then this is what his quarterback had to say about Quez Watkins as well, who should have come down with that catch at the end of the Super Bowl when the Eagles tried to involve him so much in that offense. I thought he pressed and struggled, and for the speed that he has, struggles to get open consistently and catch the football consistently. But here's what Jalen Hurts had to say about one of his wide receivers. Quez is doing a really good job. He's playing a number of different positions. He's hungry, and he's used everything as fuel. And I'm excited to see the show that he puts on this year. And Quez Watkins has the ability to put on a show. And if he does put on a show, I'm intrigued, and more so intrigued, about the diversity of this Eagles passing attack, because A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith are very complete wide receivers. And if Quez Watkins can live up to expectations as a guy where two safeties always have to kind of shield over to his side, or at least one safety has to shield over to that side to give the cornerback some help because he's a threat to go long and catch that long ball to take the top off of the defense, what does it do? Opens up plenty of other opportunities for A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, but also Dallas Goedert, and these running backs in the pass game to do a lot of damage. The numbers the first 3 years, year 2, pretty solid. If he can get back to that as a wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4, that is a great thing for Philadelphia. I've had a lot of you interact with me on Twitter throughout this week. I really do appreciate it. Honestly, I'm telling you, don't be shy. Slide in the DMs, say what's up. Let's talk some birds. I'm really into health and wellness and fitness as well. I cover the NFL, NBA, and college football here. We can chop it up. I love music as well. Rap is my specialty, but I'll listen to a little Zach Bryan and Johnny Cash and Ray Charles. At Chase_Senior on Twitter. At Chase_Senior on Instagram. Look forward to chopping it up with everybody out there. How about Dan Arnold? He is competing for a roster spot amidst a very loaded and packed tight end room. We know that Dallas Goedert is going to be the #1 tight end for this football team. Who's going to back him up, though? And then the other question, how many tight ends will the Eagles have on that 53-man roster? They had 3 on the opening 53 in 2022. Jack Stoll, solid tight end. Grant Calcaterra, I like his ability. You have Dan Arnold. You have Tyree Jackson as well. two or one of those tight ends is going to get cut. As of right now, not sure who it's going to be, but Dan Arnold making a couple of quality catches and plays throughout OTAs thus far. So too is Trey Sermon. And I thought this was interesting from Elliott Shore-Parks, who covers the Eagles for 94 WIP, has a podcast called the Go Birds Podcast with James Seltzer, friend of the show. And he said that he thinks Trey Sermon can push Rashad Penny for a roster spot on this team. And that's pretty interesting because Rashad Penny, and we talked about this at the time, when he signed that contract, only $500,000 of guaranteed money were included in that, and he's been injured a ton. First-round pick a few years ago, 2018, out of San Diego State. The ability is certainly there for Penny, but the lack of availability has been a problem. So if Sermon, who was a former third-round pick 2 years ago out of Ohio State for the San Francisco 49ers and last year didn't crack that roster, starts to turn some heads, and Penny gets injured once again or doesn't play all that well, Sermon could replace him, and I think for sure Philadelphia will have 4 backs on the opening 53-man roster. Where are you watching from? I was taking a look at all the analytics here on Eagles Now. It is so cool to see Eagles fans watching from not just every pocket and corner of America, spanning across our great nation, but also worldwide as well. So let us know and let other people know in the comment section where exactly you're watching from, whether it's in the United States or international as well. A couple of Eagles OTAs losers, but look, this is getting nitpicky at this point, but it's Eagles winners and losers, so we have to take a couple of guys and put them on this list, and Avonte Maddox is on it. He's been injured, has been able to play. Zech McPherson getting a lot of slot snaps. Josiah Scott, Josh Joby, Greedy Williams, other players who could potentially get some slot corner roles and snaps to put some pressure on Avonte Maddox. Eli Ricks, what can he do? Keely Ringo, is he going to be able to get some slot snaps as well? That is a low-key intriguing training camp and preseason battle. Marcus Mariota, he got intercepted last week by Christian Elliss, nearly got intercepted again yesterday, and the word is he's not really impressing people with the velocity on his arm or the arm strength that he has. Now, there's a reason he's become a backup quarterback in this league, because he hasn't been good consistently, and he's been more bad than good, and that's why the Falcons basically benched him for Desmond Ridder at the end of last year. He's a quality backup quarterback who I said I like the signing of him because there's not much of a drop-off from a system fit and a skill set as far as running the RPO. Obviously, Hurts and Mariota different quarterbacks, but I'm talking about the overall skill set here where you don't have to overhaul the offense from Hurts to Mariota. But so far, he's really just been average. And then Nakobe Dean goes on this list. We talked about him earlier this week about how he earned the green dot, which means that Sean Desai, the defensive coordinator, sends in the play call to Nakobe Dean. He relays it to the huddle on the defensive side of the football, but it's not like he's popped. It's not like he's done anything that's been extraordinarily impressive so far in this offseason. Maybe when the pads come on, they start to get him popping. That's when Nakobe Dean can do a little bit more, but you're looking for him to take some monumental strides, and he's really not, at least as of yet, but it is too early. And then the note that I talked about a little bit earlier, it looks like Zech McPherson has switched to slot cornerback full-time. Like, he wasn't taking snaps on the outside. He is on the inside pretty much full-time. Now, he's been a good special teams player for this team as a former fourth-round pick out of Texas Tech. Can he push for more slot snaps and not just special team snaps here this upcoming season? Another reminder to subscribe to the show as we march toward 50,000 subscribers. And once again, today's show sponsored by GlassesUSA.com. The blue light glasses are great as I'm preparing for my shows, and during the summertime, able to rock the sunnies as well. GlassesUSA.com. Exclusive promo link down in the description down below. Have a great weekend, but the content doesn't stop here on Eagles Now, so stay tuned.